Pocahontas crazy countdown.
Right, another Disney movie. Now this is maybe a bit more happier, but so weirdly enough, this song has been removed from Pocahontas, but they brought it back in the 2005 anniversary something or other. But I don't know if it was on original cassettes, video VHSs, because I think I've seen it there before. It was such a good scene. They removed it because children had watched it or something and they weren't as engaged with it. But I mean, they should not have removed it. It was such a good scene. I'm glad they brought it back. Unfortunately, the DVD that I bought of Pocahontas doesn't have this scene in it, which is annoying. But here it is here, and what a great scene. So basically, John Smith and Pocahontas, they both have feelings for each other, obviously, by this point, but they both know that that was wrong. It's not wrong, but they both felt it was wrong because of their different upbringings and whatever else. But just now, John Smith is awaiting to be dealt with because of something he had done, but it wasn't actually him, it was one of his other soldiers, and so on and so forth. But let's get on with it.
Pocahontas wants to look into the eyes of the man who killed Kocoum.
Be quick.
It's such a good song, if not my favourite song from Pocahontas. It's actually on the credits of Pocahontas, if you hear it there. This version's better though.
Pocahontas.
I'm so sorry.
For what? This? I've gotten out of worse scrapes than this. Can't think of any right now, but...
It would have been better if we'd never met.
And
None
then
of
what
this would
he
have happened.
says, what he says, so sweet.
Pocahontas, look at me. I'd rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you. If I never knew you, if I never felt this love, I would have no inkling of how precious life can be. If I never held you, I would never have a clue how at last I'd find in you the missing part of me. In this world so full of fear, full of rage and lies, I can see the truth so clear in your eyes, so dry your eyes, and I'm so grateful to you. I'd have lived my whole life through.
Here comes Pocahontas, she's gonna sing.
Lost forever. If I
Yes, Pocahontas, take it away.
I thought our love would be so beautiful. Somehow we'd make
It's a very
the
nice
whole
singing voice,
world
yeah.
bright. I never knew that fear and hate could be so strong. All they'd leave us were these whispers in the night. But still my heart is saying we were right. For if I never knew
There's no
you,
moment
if
I regret.
never knew
Right, so yeah, it's really dumb that they took that out because it gives the film a different balance. It's like the Muppets Christmas Carol, they took out a song from that kind of made more sense being in the movie, but they just removed it because they were scraped for time and things. But yeah, that was really sad. I love that song. Like, I can even play a bit of it on the keyboard, but yeah. Okay, right, back to another weird Adam Sandler film, but this is 50 First Dates, and the reason it's called that is because basically this girl and Adam Sandler's character Henry have 50 first dates. So basically, Lucy, who is Drew Barrymore, played by Drew Barrymore here, she unfortunately had an accident a couple of years ago, and she cannot remember anything past a day, so she can only remember 24 hours of the one day. So she repeats the same day over and over and over again, but within a couple of weeks or so, she had met Adam Sandler's character Henry. Henry, I meant, and the two of them hit it off, and they started having a good time and all other sorts. And then he found out she had memory loss, but he still stuck with her because he really cared about her. Unfortunately, eventually, she thought she was holding him back from a good life, so she decided it'd be better if they didn't stay together. So Henry removed all aspects of him. He removed any writing she had written about him. He had removed all pictures, videos, whatever. But then he came back because he just could not stay away. He loved her so much. And then it was actually quite a nice scene when he came back as well. Before this, the scene that was just before this, but she does remember him because he is the first person that has gone past a day. Like, she has remembered him past a day, in a sense. So that's what's really sweet. She's the only person that she can remember past a day. So let's get on with it. You'll see what she does for him.
What's your name?
I'm Henry.
Henry.
It's not just men that could be romantic.
I want to
Girls
show
can
you
be
something.
really romantic too.
Will you come with me?
I don't know what that means. I was meaning like the Ewan McGregor scene, the whatever.
Do you know who that guy is?
Dude, I don't even know who I am.
Oh, well, you're Pablo Picasso.
Really?
No, not really.
See, we have dumb scenes like that, but then we get
This is my studio.
Wow.
the egg picture, yeah.
I don't know who you are, Henry, but I dream about you almost every night. Why?
What would you say if I told you that notebook you read every day used to have a lot of stuff about me in it?
I would say that makes a lot of sense.
You erased me from your memories because you thought you were holding me back from having a full and happy life. But you made a mistake. Being with you is the only way I could have a full and happy life. You're the girl of my dreams. And apparently I'm the man of yours.
Henry, it's nice to meet you.
Lucy, it's nice to meet you too.
Then the guy comes in.
Hi, I'm Tom.
Henry, Lucy, nice to meet you, Tom. Now, why don't you come back in 10 seconds so we can meet again?
Nice. Yeah. Oh, it's just heartwarming, nice. Like, so they got together after that. Yay. Okay, another Drew Barrymore film, and this one is amazing. Like, another film that took me a while to see, but once I've seen it, it's up there with one of my favourite films. So this is Music and Lyrics. It's a film about a washed up rock star, pop star, whatever. His name is Alex Fletcher, played by Hugh Grant. He was in part of a band, Pop. He was in the band called Pop. But then he started to get back into the songwriting. Unfortunately, well, no, he had got given a chance to come out on a stage with an actually up-to-date pop star. Unfortunately, he wasn't very good at writing songs. So at this point, Drew Barrymore's character had come into the story, and she wrote Way Back Into Love alongside him. So when it came to performing, the announcer had said, like, here's a song by Alex Fletcher, just Alex Fletcher. So Drew Barrymore's character was like, he didn't mention me, so she started to storm off, not knowing that this was a song that he had actually wrote in dedication to her. And then he starts to play it, and she obviously realizes it's a different song, and so on and so forth. So the song is Don't Write Me Off Just Yet, and it's really nice. It's nice to have this dedication towards Drew Barrymore's character.
It's never been easy for me to find words to go along with a melody. But this time there's actually something on my mind. So please forgive these few brief, awkward lines. Since I met you, my whole life has changed. It's not just my furniture you rearranged. I was living in the past, but somehow you've brought me back. And I haven't felt like this since before Frankie said relax. And
That's her
though I
sister,
know,
that's not just panning to a random person.
based on my track record, I might not seem like the safest bet. All I'm asking you is don't write me off just yet.
Aww.
For years I've been telling myself the same old story, that I'm happy to live off my so-called former glories. But you've given me a reason to take another chance. Now I need you, despite the fact that you've killed all my plans. And though I know I've already blown more chances than anyone should ever get, all I'm asking you is don't write me off just yet.
But yes, so really, really sweet, because she thought he had betrayed her, and then he just realised that he was actually being very romantic. Right, so Harry Potter now. So I've seen all the Harry Potters many, many, many times. I actually watched the first one when I was in primary 3. That's when it came out. And I watched it all the time. Like, I used to go to the cinema with my friends and family and all that to see it. And of course, Harry Potter's experienced a lot of deaths throughout his time, but one of the most prominent deaths was that of Sirius Black. The reason why was because Sirius Black was his last living relative. Well, relative is a latent term, like he was his godfather. And you'll see that Sirius, when he's fighting, he says, "Go get him, James." That's because he's remembering his time with Harry's dad. So yeah, we'll skip forward to here. My dad movie.
Nice one, James.
See, here we go. He didn't even get to say anything. He just gone. Oh. Yeah. Right. Okay. Whew. It's another big movie, another big music movie. Now, my family had told me that I would love this film, and for the longest time I said I would not. I avoided watching it. I said I'd hate it, and then I watched it, and it's now one of my favourite movies. So that's The Greatest Showman. Now, The Greatest Showman is interesting in a lot of different ways, so there's a lot of things happening here, but around this time period, so there's Zendaya's character, who is an incredibly beautiful girl, but she is mixed race. So I think at this time, people of her race were not seen to be allowed to be around people or be in a relationship with Zac Efron. I don't know how to word it right, but you know what I mean. It was either her working classness or it was her race or something like that, but the two of them could not be together. So Zac Efron he doesn't want to upset his parents who are in the audience, but during it, he and Zendaya hold hands, and it's just so sweet. But then his parents find out, and then he's like, that. But how could you do that to Zendaya? Like, how could you break her heart like that? It's so sad. So yeah. So later on, everything works out. Everything's good. But I mean, at the time, like Zach only. Well, his name isn't Zach, but he only wanted to do good by his parents. So he obviously was like, I can't be seen to be caring for that and all other sorts. But oh, it's so nasty to Zendaya. It's just so sad. I should know their names, but I don't. I know them, but I don't know them. Right, and from a lot of love scenes, a lot of romantic couple scenes, we're now going to a sister scene, in a sense, and this is from the movie My Sister's Keeper, which is an incredibly sad film from beginning to end because it's all about cancer and the fight, Kate's fight. So Kate has got to her worst part. They know that she's not going to make it, so this is basically her last day, and her whole family wants to take her to the beach to just have one last good memory. Her mum is a bit like she needs to stay here so that she can stay healthy and stay whatever else, but they all go. She's in a bad mood with them, but eventually it all works out and the mum comes too. But yeah, if you've not seen My Sister's Keeper, it's extremely sad all the way through, and if you've ever known somebody with cancer, or if you've experienced cancer and stuff like that, it's so heartbreaking. And the song that plays as well just makes it that more heartbreaking. The song is Feels Like Home, and you'll hear it. It's extremely sad. So there she is, there's Kate. I think her name's Kate anyways. I might be making it up.
Something in your eyes makes me wanna lose myself. Makes me wanna lose myself in your arms.
That's her sister and brother.
There's something in your voice makes my heart beat fast.
Oh.
Hope this feeling lasts.
The song, like, is so poignant as well. Like, I hope this feeling lasts, and
If you knew how lonely my life has been, and
see,
how long
here comes the mum.
I've been so alone.
It just works so well.
And if you knew how I wanted someone to come along and change my life the way you've done, it feels like home to me. Feels like home to me. Feels like I'm all the way back where I come from. It feels like home to me. Feels like home to me. Feels
She's so
like
happy.
I'm
Yeah.
all the way back where I belong.
We skip forward a wee bit to her last moments, in a sense.
Through the dark there is light. And if you knew how much this moment means to me.
It's just so real. Like, I don't know if it was based on a true story, but any story of cancer is not a good. Well, no, take that back. But I mean, cancer is horrendous. Like, and most of the time it doesn't go well. So it's all too true. I mean, there is a lot of cases where it goes well, but oh.
Feels like home to me. Feels like I'm all the way back where I come from.
Yeah, it's just so. Oh, like I said, if you've known people with cancer, it's just right. Whew. Right, so from one horrible thing, which is cancer, to Titanic, which is another horrible thing, right? So in the movie, there's a lot of sad scenes, but one of my favourite scenes is right at the end. It even says Titanic final scene. This is when Rose is asleep and she's dreaming about the old times on the Titanic. It's just really a nice scene. It's really emotional because all these people, or the majority of these people, are no longer around. And then, of course, there's Jack. And you'll first see all the things that Rose went on to do in her. Oh, it's right. What's next? Okay, so another one that you'll be like, what is this? This is weird. So this is Shrek. Shrek Forever After, the very last Shrek. So yes, Shrek is a bizarre film. Like I really like them, but in a sense, emotion's not really. Well, no, there is a couple of emotional scenes throughout the series, but this is really, really sad because Shrek made a wish to Rumpelstiltskin that he wanted his old life back, in a sense. So therefore, he never met Fiona, and they never had their children. Fiona never became human, she never became. Just things that happened. Oh, she kept turning back into a human. That's what I mean. She was an ogre at night and turned into a human during the day. Yeah, right. But yeah, so Shrek Forever After, he then has to try and convince her to fall back in love with him, to break the curse, to break the wish before sunrise. But it's coming very, very close, and it may seem like they won't do it. So here's that scene.
We make a pretty good team.
You have no idea.
And it's just what he says as well. It's really sweet what he says. I mean, bear in mind, he's an ogre.
His day is up. His day is back.
Shrek.
It's all right.
Here we go.
There has to be something I can do.
You've already done everything for me, Fiona. You gave me a home and a family.
You have kids?
We
have kids. Fergus, Fargo,
Felicia.
And a little girl named
Felicia. I've always wanted to have a daughter named Felicia.
And someday, you will.
This bit, wait to hear what he says now.
You know what the best part of today was? I got the chance to fall in love with you all over again.
Oh. This is Shrek, man. And the music is so... Wow. Oh, wow. Shrek. Yeah, Shrek. Shrek makes me cry. Okay, it's getting worse. Right, so we've had a story that deals with cancer, we've had a story that dealt with the Titanic, now we're dealing with the Holocaust. So the Holocaust was another horrendous part of history that should have never existed. It was terrible, it was awful, it destroyed so many people's lives, and it still destroys people's lives today because they have the memory of it, or they have past things of it. But this is called The Boy in Striped Pajamas. So Bruno, the boy in the hat there, he has no idea what this place is. He just thinks it's some sort of camp and stuff, and he meets a guy, Shamal, there, who he becomes friends with, and they're both... So Shamal is a Jew, Bruno is a German who is the son of a Nazi, and they should be enemies, but of course they're just children and they do not know that. But Bruno finds a way into the camp, he gets some of these clothes, and so therefore he's indistinguishable between the other ones. And then, of course, the inevitable eventually happens. You'll see what happens. well, let's get on with it. Skip forward a wee bit because we'll get to this bit. So this is when they're looking for
Therefore, by the end of the summer...
Bruno.
Elsa, I'm in a meeting.
Bruno's missing.
Come on!
And the thing is, the children are just so, like, gullible and naive. Like, they think it's a shower. Like, they don't think they're going into you-know-what. They just think it's a shower. I'll be honest with you, right? A little bit ago on this, there was a guy lying on the floor dead. Like, if I was in this situation, I would rather be him than have to go through this torture. And even like the adults in this, like the men, they don't know what they're getting themselves in for, or the women, or whatever. They do not know what's about to happen. They just think like the children, like, you know what happens.
It's alright. I think we're just waiting in here until the rain stops.
See, they're so naive. I believe that Bruno is the kid that actually plays in is in the TV show Sex Education, I think. I might be wrong, but I think it's him.
No, it's just a shower.
See? They think it's just a shower too. It's like... Oh, and they're so frail. Like, the parents are about to discover what's happened to them. And it's not like Bruno deserved it. Like, he had no idea what was happening. They've now realised. And I don't think that Mum was very happy about what the dad was doing either, so I don't think she was all about it. Here we go. It's just so dark, so... Oh, yep. So you know what happens, like, yep. Moving on. Just torturous. Right. Okay, this is the last one, I think. I believe it's the last one. So we're ending with something a little bit better than that. I mean better in the sense it's not as dark. But then again, maybe it sort of is. So this is from Tarzan. Tarzan was an orphaned baby on this island. His parents had sadly got into a predicament where things happened, and then Kova or something adopted Tarzan. She is an ape. She had adopted him after something happened to her own child, but she raised him into an adult, and then she took him back to his home here to realise about his past, to find out that he's actually a human and all sorts, and he has to come to terms with that. But she also has to let him go, and it's quite sad because she is his mum and all that sorts. You'll see. They also play "You'll Be in My Heart," or in the background, just the instrumental. Really sad.
Is this me? And this is my father. And my...
Now you know.
Now you know. Tarzan, I just want you to be happy, whatever you decide.
Oh. Or is it Kala? I think it's Kala, actually. I'm terrible with names. Kova is his friend, I think. There's Kerjak, who's the monkey, or no, the elephant. It's what he says as well, it's just so sweet.
No matter where I go, you will always be my mother.
Oh.
And you will always be in my heart.
Such a nice ape. Yep, so he was going away to be with Jane and have a good, happy human life. You'll have to watch Tarzan if you want to know what actually happens. But yes, so that's it. This might be probably in 2 parts. I don't know. I hope this will have recorded right this time and hopefully not have to do it again, because I've done it about 10 times. If I have to name five of my favourite, most emotional scenes, I would say definitely Fox and the Hound number 1. I'd maybe say Shrek next, surprisingly enough. Shrek Forever After. Homeward Bound. I do like Beauty and the Beast as well. And then maybe My Sister's Keeper, or something else. But like I said, also, there's not every single clip. There's not every single emotional clip from every single film. That would take about 30 years for me to edit, and then about 100 years for you to watch it. But so I mean, like the likes of the Avengers scenes, none of that's in here. But I hope you enjoyed what I've selected, and until next time or whatever I do, bye.